Yo, is my screen recording? I think it is. All right, YouTube, the easiest content to make, yet seemingly the most successful, is tier lists. And today, we're talking about a tier list that I feel like I kind of have a little bit of experience with, and that we can debate a lot over, is weekend activities. So, I mean, I guess we'll kind of get right into it. So a lot of these, I guess, could overlap. Like you could do multiple of these at once. So I feel like I kind of got to take that into consideration when ranking these. But yes, weekend activities. Everybody loves it when the weekend comes around. Well, most people. Some of us are depressed, lonely motherfuckers. That low key be me sometimes. And great, Fortnite sending me some fucking friend request. I know I'm a popular guy. It's like 100 of them. I don't know if the screen records that. Whatever. Let's get into some of these. And I'm going to start with one that it doesn't matter. You can literally do any of the other weekend activities alongside this one. But this one is drinking. And this one automatically goes fucking S tier because it makes anything better. I don't know. Like, there's like a clip sums it up. My girlfriend broke up with me. Have a beer. I just got a promotion. Have a beer. My girlfriend and I are getting engaged. Have a beer. Yeah, my friends don't want to be friends with me anymore. Have a beer. Whether you're happy, sad, frustrated, anxious, nervous, whatever the case, you lack confidence, you want to get a girl, alcohol is always there for you. It is always supporting you. It's called King. Drink King. It is the king of all weekend activities. And no matter what you do, you can drink and it'll probably make it better. I think we can all agree on that. I mean, come on. Alcohol is. Get this fucking ad off my screen! Alcohol is the greatest thing of all time. I could probably elaborate a little bit more, but I mean, you guys know that, right? Like, come on. We're trying to enjoy ourselves. Like things just seem like you don't like it. Like something like when you're happy, it just makes you even happier. When you're at a party, it just makes you more confident. When you're talking with your friends, it just makes your conversation deeper. When you're sad and depressed, well, it makes you feel a little bit better, bro. Or it helps you go to sleep. Or it makes you feel dizzy, and that can be a fun feeling sometimes when you're depressed and have nothing else to do because no one likes you. Been there before. Can't even lie. So yes, that is something you do in the evenings, likely. But day drinking while you're playing sports, pretty fun. Drinking and doom scrolling. Basically, you can do it with any of these other activities, and it usually makes the time even better. That is why it is an S tier activity. Moving on, I think I'm gonna go with the club if I can find it. Now, this could also just like include any sort of partying. I'm just gonna bring it up here for the moment. I'd probably put it A tier. But yeah, this can like include any sort of I'm just making sure my recording's working. Yeah, it is, bro. There's no way. I'm so cool. Any sort of partying, whether that be at a frat party or if you're at a bar, but you know, it's less like a bar, more like a club. And these tend to be fun, bro. You get to meet other people. Again, if you're drinking, it's even better. But you meet some random guy, and all of a sudden you're friends with him this night, and it's like you guys have known each other your whole lives, and then you don't even text back the next day, or you end up making out with a girl, and consensually, of course. You're with your friends. Sometimes you just gotta like go. Sometimes you just need to let things out of you and just dance to some music, even if the music's not particularly good. It's a fun activity, and so many nights I just have nothing to do, and I wish I could just go out, but my friends don't want to because they're working or whatever. Like, it really is fun to go out and just see other people, see some girls, meet some new people. Sometimes it really is just in the mood. But on the other hand, you could have sleeping. Now, this could mean being on a Friday or Saturday night, going to sleep early because you're playing sports or running or going to the gym the next morning. Or it could be that you've been working tirelessly all week, relentlessly, finishing piece of work after piece of work, dealing with horrible customers, dealing with annoying ass professors, and you just got to be like, man, I just got through with finals. I don't feel like doing anything. I have no energy. I've been living off monsters. I mean, I try and get 8 hours of sleep even on the weekends, but yeah, living off monsters and zins the past 7 days. All I want to do is sleep. And that could be top chair. But it can also be sad. Like, again, like you want to do something this evening, you have nothing to do, so you decide to go to sleep. It's even worse when you don't go to sleep and you end up just staying up late for no reason, like I'm doing right now. But I'm making YouTube videos. Gotta get on the grind, as always. Sleeping, solid A chair. Not as fun as partying, but come on. Work, work. That's what we'll do next. This one is truly awful. Whether this be working a customer service job, having to go in for the weekend, having to finish your research paper, or it could be studying for finals. I go to a really typical school, and sometimes you just be working all weekend just to catch up with some of your work. And that's the worst, bro, because you're in college, you're young, you still don't have too many responsibilities. Your parents are proud of you, even if you're an unemployed alcoholic. And why do I want to work, bro? Why would I waste my young years on the weekend trying to get an A plus when I'm probably just gonna get a B and be fine anyway? Working fucking sucks, bro. And I hate it when professors assign you way too much work when you have a big ass final coming up and all you want to do is go out and fucking drink and make out with some random chick on the cross country team, but you can't because guess what, bro? Your fucking calculus final is coming up and I still have no idea what a Taylor series expansion is. And I'm supposed to fucking figure that out? Nah, go fucking kill yourself or rate me. That's basically what you're doing when I get to the test and I see a Taylor series expansion and all I want to do is go drink, but I don't know how to do the it's making me lose my words, bro. It's making me lose my train of thought. This fucking sucks. It's not as bad as if you're not studying for a final because that's like a stress. That's like a it's worse if like you're working on a distant project like an essay that's due in the future and the end isn't even in sight. So like, that's long term stress. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's not as bad. If I'm working like on an evening when I used to work as a busser at a restaurant, it's not as bad because the stress is over once you're done. And sometimes you finish early enough that you can still do shit. But it really sucks on those weekends when you have to really catch up. And if you're lucky, you have enough time over the weekend to finish everything. If you're not lucky, you go into Monday with, you know, your eyes bloodshot and with a black stuff beneath because you got no sleep or because maybe you did get enough sleep, but it was literally like working all the way up until the end of Sunday evening, going to sleep and waking up the next morning and having to continue working, where sleep is literally just a portal that teleports you from working in the evening to working in the morning, and that's all your life is. And you don't even have the chance to relax because the second you're done working, you have to go to sleep so you can get enough hours to even stay awake the next day. Dude, yeah, this is F tier. This is F tier, bro. It sucks when you just want to have fun. You have to work. It sucks when my friends work on a Friday or Saturday night. You know, I want to go and do stuff, and they're like, "No, I have to study." Motherfucker, it's a Friday night, bro. Let's have some fun. Or when they get done with work, but they just want to go to bed over the summer because they've been working at a restaurant all day. God, I'm actually ranting, bro. Fuck work. Hate being a grown ass man. I like taking advantage of the fact that I'm young and don't have too many responsibilities. I want to have a little bit of fun before I end up wanting to kill myself until I'm 65 years old, if you know what I'm saying. Or if you're in France, 62, because the second they try and reach that age, you're going to fucking riot in the street as if PSG just won or lost a Champions League final. Or just any regular old game. Alright, this one, the image cut out, but this one's restaurant. God, moving on. Going out to a restaurant, and again, this can be done with friends, this can be done with a girlfriend, this can be done with your family. Either way, it's pretty nice, bro. Because you don't have to cook yourself. You get to have some decent food, take a break off your diet or whatever. Just enjoy yourself in a nice, vibrant area where there's other people that you can chat with, that you can drink with, that you can eat with. Then you go home and you just have a chillaxing night. This is pretty good. This is A chair. I would honestly put it above sleeping because that sounds funner to me than just sleeping all weekend. But sometimes sleeping really is the shit. Like when you've been working all week and you want to sleep, sleeping does fucking hit, bro. But it's not as fun as actually socializing and going out. Especially again, like you want to take advantage of the fact that you're young and actually do weekend activities. Obviously, people at different ages would rank these differently. This is for a 19-year-old in college. So if the police are watching, drinking and club is not actually on here. Next one, this one we can save for later. It's a little different. Shopping. Shopping, genuinely the List activity. I'm already a broke college student spending all my money on alcohol, on going to the parties, or going to a restaurant. Why the fuck would I go around some random place, fucking like Chinatown in Chicago? Every other store and every other restaurant is the exact same. All of them serve the exact same Chinese food. All these little stores serve the exact same anime figurines and plushies and random ass shit. A couple of them are cool because they have candy shops, but even though all the candy shops are the exact same, boba ain't even that great, and it's even made even worse by those annoying ass girls at the Grammys who started out their song with boba tea, gnarly. By the way, why did I get to college and all of a sudden matcha, boba tea are popular, bro? These are liberal foods. The people who drink boba tea are the same people who walk around with labubus on their backpack, with cat ear headphones, and drink from straws. Something about Korean culture is gay. I don't know why it's all of a sudden popular. I don't even think boba tea is Korean, but I associate it with grown ass adults who cry at their concerts as if they're little fucking kids. You're a grown ass adult, bro. But it's okay if you want to, go clubbing or sleep all weekend and not work. Anyways, yeah, like shopping just like I mean, I guess it's fun that you're going out, but like if you're spending money, you're losing money oftentimes on pointless stuff. If you're shopping for things you need, you feel kind of productive. Like when I go and get some shoes because my other shoes were ruined by a frat party. You know, sometimes it got to be done. It's fun to walk around a mall. Like anything's fun again when you're with your friends or when you're with other people. But, you know, I don't find it particularly appealing to just walk around and look at things that I don't want to buy because I don't have the money. And even worse, if I do end up buying them because I sure as hell ain't using them. And if I'm walking around the fucking plaza or some expensive ass mall buying shit, yeah. I guess it was fun when I went to Mall of America and bought some fucking Lego toy and some like RC car. But yeah, like, do I even use them now? No. Did I have fun at the time? Yeah. But I could have had way more fun doing other stuff like sports that don't drain my money. Shopping is for girls and for women, not for grown ass men like me who instead would rather spend my night at the bar till 5 a.m. crying about the fact that I don't have a girlfriend. It's C tier. Okay. Yeah, this one we save for later. What about just exploring the map? Just going on a walk or just, if you're living in a news town like Chicago, just going and seeing downtown. Again, something you need to do with other people. Sometimes you do need to have a plan, like to see the river. It's not always fun to just walk around some random place. Done it once or twice. Really ain't that fun. You really do need to have something in mind to do. But you can, yeah, I'll put a beach here. Like, it really depends where you're going. If you're going to the hood, I don't know why you do that. That would be an F tier activity. I'm not trying to get shot just because I look at a place or just because I look like I have something in my wallet when I'm just as broke as you. But whatever. Well, I mean, it's not too much different from shopping. You're just walking around looking at shit. But it can be fun if you're walking through a park with your friends, just chatting. Again, that's why I say some of these things you can overlap and do with each other. Like you can drink with friends, you can drink with friends while exploring the map. And those things won't prove anything. Like, again, if I were drinking while exploring the map, it might be A tier. But that's why drinking is S tier. Exploring the map on its own, is it really that interesting? It could be, but this is one that really depends. Friends, S tier. Don't have any. Wish I did, because when I've had them in the past, look, you put it above drinking. Nah, not because I do drink and I don't have friends. But yeah, having people to talk to, do shit with, it's way funner. Like, I'm not going to the club on my own. That's boring. Well, I probably am because I don't have any friends anymore. No, I'm just kidding. But my friends are all working, so just wish I could do hanging out with friends more often. You know, sucks when I'm back at my school and I want to do something on a Friday night. I go to a party, but I don't want to go on my own. I want to hang out with friends. So I go to hang out with my friends and I'm just chilling in their dorm room on a beautiful evening and they're reading through their biology textbook. Brother, you are a freshman in college. The A plus is not that important. Whatever. What does this one say? This one says church. Now, I'm not religious at all, so never really been to church. But I mean, I respect it if you have like some sort of beliefs that keep you going in life, that make you kind of understand who you are, or kind of give you some sort of reason. That's pretty tough, bro. Pursuing that's tough. I'm not gonna say it's a particularly fun weekend activity. It doesn't sound appealing to me, but I respect it. Again, I'm gonna put that beach here. Rather be exploring the map than going to the church. I'd probably rather go to church if I was following some sort of religion and some sort of beliefs that gave me reason. That'd probably be S tier. It would definitely be above shopping though. You know, we're grown ass men here. We're not women. Retard maxing. Um, this is kind of like the other category, so maybe I should save it for later. But that's like doing stuff like riding shopping carts down hills, or like attaching a couch on wheels to the back of the car and driving that around. Stupid shit that'll get you in a lot of trouble or could go really south really quickly and doesn't really count as any of these other stuff, but could be fun. We'll rate it in a second though. I want to get through some of the other stuff. Tung 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 Sahur. Now, I am a Tung 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 Sahur connoisseur myself, but this represents doom scrolling. And as much as I love watching reels, I do it all day, especially when the teacher starts talking about Taylor series expansions. But to tell the truth, it's nowhere near as fun as, if anything, it just makes me feel bad about myself. Rather be exploring the map and going to church. Rather be shopping. Not to say I don't do this way more than I do any of this other stuff. So I gotta be D. D for doom scrolling. Tung 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 Sohor would be an S tier, so I feel like this is misleading that Tung 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 Sohor is here because I love Trip T. But doom scrolling, nah, it can be funny sometimes. I'm gonna put it above church just to rage bait people. Nothing. This is F tier. Well, actually, I'd rather be doing nothing than work. Can't lie. Sometimes I'd rather just like sit there and think than actually think in depth about Taylor series expansions or differential equations for my biology class. I'd rather kill myself than do that. And I'd especially rather do nothing than do myself than either of those two and killing myself and work. I'd rather do nothing. No, I'd rather shop than do nothing. Again, this can be fun when you're drinking or when you're just sitting there with friends, chatting, which I don't have here, so I guess this includes chatting or thinking deeply by yourself. Now, when you think about it like that, this could be self reflection, which is probably better than a lot of these things up to beach here. But nothing could also just be like rotting in your bread, which at that point you might as well at least doom scroll. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll put a G tier. This could be biking, but it's hiking. But I guess they could be the same thing. Just going on a walk, going on a hike, waking up early in the morning. Okay, tough, bro. Seeing some beautiful nature. Now, this really depends on where you live. This is weekend activities, of course. So, you know, where I'm from, it's not like there's places to hike. But if I was in Colorado, that would be an S tier activity. For the moment, I'll put it top of B tier. It's not too much different than exploring the map. But I guess it assumes that your nature, which can be pretty self fulfilling, you might say. That's at least what I might say. Do I only have 10 more minutes on the recording? Yeah, that is not cool. This is 9:48. That's I only get 25 minutes of recording. Fuck you, bro. I'm gonna somehow have to figure out how to attach two videos back to back then. That's like the impossible task. Cooking, cookout, barbecue, grill. Similar to restaurant, but it's even cooler because you get to cook and talk with people and be outside. Vibes can be immaculate. I even put that above restaurant slightly. They're not too much different. I put that above going to the club because you could do that with girls too. And you could do that with your family. Again, made better by being with friends or drinking. But yeah, I mean, just immaculate vibes. You know, you're with the people you like to be. At least like, clubbing, you're with a lot of people and you like to socialize, and I like that. But barbecue, cookouts, you're specifically with the people you like, you chose and you wanted to be around. So that's what puts it slightly above. Bar is really not much different than the club. So, or the restaurant. It's basically like the in between of those two. So it's like, it makes sense to put it in between, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's basically the club. Maybe it's a better place to find people to talk to. Obviously, not going to be as good as if you already have people to talk to at a cookout. All right. The gym. Does it say sports? I think so. And we'll do this one afterwards. The gym. Tough. Loki. Gym is the one thing that actually gives me a break from work during the weekdays. So it's really a nice mental reinvigoration activity. If you catch my drift, you may not. And you're physically improving yourself. The gym can be very fun if you think about it as like a break from everything else. When, like, especially like if you're in an empty gym, like there was at my dorm, and you don't have to talk to other people, you don't have to do any work. It's like a break where you just listen to your own music, you just turn your brain off, and the workout you start to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you enjoy the pain. Sometimes you're looking at yourself in the mirror, listening to some hype ass Linkin Park or Travis Scott or whoever, and you're just like fucking boxing the air. You feel so hype. You're so proud of yourself. You want to do some crazy workout. Sometimes you don't want to do a crazy workout, but whatever keeps you consistent. That includes doing it on the weekend sometimes. You know what? Being on the grind feels good. It's not as fun as going to the club or the bar, but it's a good activity. I put a top of beach here. Top of beach here with hiking. Sports is a definite H here. Now, I guess it depends if you're doing it by yourself or not. Not as fun as the club or the bar or the restaurant. I put it up a bar and restaurant though. Not as fun as the club or partying. This partly represents partying. These two are slightly different. But yeah, dude, day drinking and playing sports. Or playing sports competitively when I was a young kid. For me, it's mostly soccer. Or sometimes playing it recreationally with your friends. But yeah, competitively, it could also be really fun, especially when it got intense and you had a tournament at the weekend. I was never good enough to go pro in soccer, but I was still a pretty good, solid midfield player when I was active enough. And yeah, dude, this really like was always gonna be the highlight of my weekend if I ever had a big game coming up. Always the highlight of my weekend. Well, unless I played bad, but it was always what I looked forward to. It's always fun, bro. Like physical activity just makes you feel so good about yourself. Can't even lie, bro. I feel like most people couldn't disagree with that. Sports truly are the best. All right, I'm putting this away. I'm just checking on myself here. All right, Video games. Used to enjoy them, but once you start playing them a while, especially when it's nice out, it doesn't feel good, bro. Again, better with friends. On your own, I do like playing some games on my own, like the single player games or the city builder games. It can be tough, bro. But it's definitely not as fun as going out and doing things with other people. It's funner than sleeping, though. Oh, hell, I'm not putting video games above gym and hiking. I'd rather do those. I'd rather be exploring the map. Right now, I mean, in the past, I was thinking too much in the past, like what I would put. And in the past, as a young kid, it is put up here. But since now there's all these other things I can do, if I can ever if I can ever convince other people to hike or explore the map with me, I'd rather do those things for sure than doom score video games. Obviously, I usually can't do that stuff, so I end up playing video games most weekends because I don't have people to go out with and do all this other stuff. Drinking in video games. Fun. Speaking of video games and sports, there is watching sports. I have the World Cup because I'm excited. Live in Kansas City. World Cup's coming right here. It's looking like the quarterfinal is going to be Portugal versus Argentina. Damn, I am hyped. It's really expensive. Um, now, obviously, it matters if you're actually at the stadium or not. Experiencing the atmosphere, it doesn't even matter how fun the game is. But if you're at a bar too, sometimes you just want to be at home though and enjoying it too. Sometimes you're in bed and you wake up for a Premier League morning because some of the games are on at 6:30 a.m. because I live in the United States and the Premier League is in the UK, which is like 5 hours ahead of New York. I think it's 6 hours ahead if you're mm, not the greatest when you have to do that. 3 minutes left on the recording. What are you talking about, bro? I will punch you. Anyways, yeah, this is top tier. This is really fun. I guess it depends. And I was watching Arsenal all season. It was not fun. But when you watch PSG versus Bayern, when you're at a sports bar with other people watching the World Cup final, or if you go to the match, even Ecuador versus Curacao, which I'm planning on getting tickets for, that could be S tier, bro. Nah, it doesn't compete with these two. You'd hopefully be drinking in with friends as you watch sports. Yes, I'm looking at it from the perspective of going to an actual game. Or dude, when you put money on the line, Bears versus Packers, when the Bears are down like 15 points and they come back and win, because that's just what they are. Fuck the Packers. Or you're just watching some random sport. Like I barely watch basketball. When I watched one of those the Spurs OKC game, yo, that shit was looking tough, bro. Shit was looking tough. I don't even know shit about basketball. The movies, genuinely C tier, bro. I guess it depends on the movie. See, this is the thing with movies versus video games and books that maybe I'll have to spend a whole fucking more than a minute 48, which is the amount of video recording I have left apparently, talking about. Video games, you can interact with the world yourself. You can change the plot. Books, meanwhile, you can't really change the plot, but you can imagine the scenes in your own way, in your head. Whereas the movie, you can't change the plot, it's given to you. You can't imagine the scenes, they're also given to you. You basically just turn your brain off. It's low-key not all that engaging. It's nowhere near as engaging as video games, not as engaging as books. They also just tend to not be as good as books or TV shows because they don't have as much time. And also movies, and also TV shows nowadays. I think a great example of this is like this David and Dan quote. Like they say themes are for eighth grade book reports. Movies are clearly just about entertainment now, just about making money. They're not about telling good stories that actually engage the audience or talk about real world problems. Not like I want my movie talking about politics, but I want them to have like some sort of theme that I can relate to, that I can relate the human experience to. Like it needs to be entertaining. Of course, I don't want it to talk about fucking politics the way the boys does. That shit's fucking annoying, bro. But I do want it to have some sort of theme, like war bad or something. Like, or like talk about the human heart and conflict with itself. I want to relate to it, but obviously it has to be entertaining. But yes, like it has to engage me. It has to be relationary, if you get what I'm saying. So that's why movies aren't as good as books or video games because they're all for the. All right, well, I ended up my video recording. I guess I really was recording for 30 minutes, so I'm stupid for that. Hopefully, it saves all the other stuff I did. Well, I guess we'll find out. 45 minutes of my life would be wasted if it didn't save all that shit, so can't say I didn't have fun. But yes, movies, not as good as video games, not as good as books. And I'm low key putting video games above exploring the map and above hiking, but not above the gym. Hiking is low key kind of gay, bro. It's for hippies. It's for hippies, bro. I feel like I could reorganize this a little bit. Like bar, if it's the yeah, bar's fine. It's probably above sports. Sports are still tough though. Restaurants are tough. Yeah, they're below sports though. Sleeping, low key is tough, but it does hit. But it's really not as fun as a lot of this stuff here. Sometimes I'd rather sleep in the morning than go on a hike, though. I can't lie, especially when I'm on vacation. So that's our little reorganization. We'll do movie better than shopping. Yeah, it should be a tier below video games. I think this is books here. I hate how it cut my images. But yeah, as I was saying, like books more engaging. But reading does require you to be able to image things in your head. And as I learned recently in my psychology class, some people do that less well than others. And there's also different types of imaging. There's auditory imagery, obviously gustatory, the English class, and then even visual imagery. Like there's spatial visual imagery and object visual imagery. I suck at spatial visual imagery. When I read A Song of Ice and Fire, I couldn't like picture just the absolute scale of the castles, even if like I could, picture what each individual part looks like. I couldn't put it all together. It's frustrating, but it's still cool. Anyways, yeah, the right book can be extremely fun, bro. Almost as fun as video games, not as fun as going to the gym. I'll put it here above sleeping. Obviously, I'd rather be going out and doing this stuff than doing books, but still tough. Especially because like these things aren't always the option, and that's probably what makes them so much better. These S and A tier things is that you don't get them so often. So when they do happen, they're fun as hell. At least at my age. Board games. I've never been able to actually get people to play the board games I want to play, so I really can't say. But some board games seem really fun. Tried playing them against myself, and they're fun. But they're also expensive, and I want to get them, but then I know no one's ever going to play them with me, so I just have to live with that. It's sad. It's probably funner than I mean you have to be with friends too, which Loki automatically I want to say automatically puts it here, but then again, that also is a drawback because I don't have friends. It's funner than doom scrolling, probably funner than exploring the map, probably funner than hiking. I'd put it between because I'd rather be playing a board game with someone else than reading a book. I'd rather be playing a board game in person with other people than playing video games. But these two are also just more viable, which put them ahead of board games, if that makes any sense. All right, I've kind of talked about retard maxing, and you know what? This shit seems fucking fun. When I used to bomb hills on a skateboard, it often requires going out and doing shit with friends, and it sounds fun as hell, you know. tubing on water. I just never really get to do it. But if I could, I would put it right here. I'd rather be playing sports, of course, but at night, I'd rather be going to the club. But, you know, there was one cool thing I could do. It'd be fucking skating around on a couch on the road. I don't know, something about that just sounds very attractive. Sometimes you just gotta turn your brain off and pretend you're fucking stupid, dude, because it genuinely be fun. And apparently it gets you ahead of 99% of people. Proof? Trust me, bro. I guess. But yeah. Alright. This one is tours. I think this is meant to be like museum tours, like going to the museum, taking a tour of a city. Okay, museum's kind of boring. Taking a tour of the city is, if you're living in your city, you kind of know it. So it's kind of like a vacation thing, if anything. I don't know, bro. I don't really want to think too much about this one. It's basically hiking, it's basically exploring the map, but you're doing it with a bunch of random people who you don't like. And exploring the museum is definitely not fun. Put it here. Either go to church than do it. I'll actually be serious about doom scrolling. It's probably worse. I mean, I genuinely rather do it in church because I don't. Mm, it's definitely better to be productive, though. Yeah, we can put it in this order here. Chill. So this is a night when your friends don't want to do anything. You don't have video games around. You just want to chill, watch YouTube, and eat, or drink your naked juice, or eat your M&Ms, or eat your dessert or whatever, and just chill and watch some fucking YouTube. You know what? These always like seem very uneventful, and going into you're like, damn, I'm kind of depressed. But once you actually just start watching some random show or watching YouTube, just chilling there with the lights off in your room on a random Saturday night, you end up not waking up hungover the next morning and can be sort of productive, just giving yourself time to turn your brain off. Because I know a lot of people say work hard, play hard, but if you work hard, play hard, physically and mentally, you just become exhausted. So if you work hard and play not so hard and just chill, you can come back rejuvenated. That is why sometimes, bro, this shit is funner than going out to a restaurant. Doesn't sound, but sometimes it just genuinely is, bro. I'd still rather go to the club. I'd rather go to the bar. I wouldn't rather play. I'd rather play sports. I wouldn't rather retard. Eh, yeah. Genuinely nature activity, underrated. That's gonna be a hot take. I can't lie. Ooh, this one's good. This one's called having a girlfriend. Now, for those of you who don't know, you can actually get like a female or male, I guess, if you're into that counterpart who you can have one-on-one intimate conversations and relations with. Well, maybe, I mean, I don't know. Girlfriend definition. A woman with whom you are in a romantic or sexual relationship. The term typically denotes an exclusive, committed partner in a non marital relationship, but it can also simply refer to a female friend depending on the context. Well, I don't really know what that means. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I really can't rank this because I truly don't know. Can't recommend, can't say I've ever had a girlfriend. So I can't really give too much insight on this one. But if I had to rank it, it's gotta be at least better than doom scrolling, you would think, right? And on a serious note, though, it's like having friends, like drinking. You can do it with other people, like you can do with all this other stuff. It's gotta be annoying at some point when you gotta shop with them, though, and buy them shit and deal with their fucking emotions. You know what? Nah, having a girlfriend is basically like having a job. which means it's got to go in the same tier as work, obviously, bro. I'd rather be studying for Taylor series expansions than having a girlfriend, and that is not cool. Theme park. This could be like a Legoland or SeaWorld, or it could be like going and fucking riding a roller coaster, and that shit is tough. Low-key, bro, with the right friends, you can see other people there. That is an A-tier activity. Rather do that than go to a soccer game or watch the World Cup. But yeah, low-key, retard maxing is fucking stupid, bro. I'd rather go to the gym. Nah, because it means I'm going out. If you'll notice, the trend is going out is A tier. Staying in and doing shit by yourself that's still enjoyable, B tier. Everything else down here. And then stuff that you can do like that, no matter like what you do, can still be fun if you do these things. Those are an S tier, if that makes any sense. The pool, only available during the summer if you're in parts of the world like me. You get to see some birds. If you're not confident in your body, which previously I haven't been, now I'm a muscular absolute beast. Oh my god, the voice crack. That made it way worse. Now I don't sound intimidating at all. Now I look like don't sore, bro. I'm retard maxing, truly. Yeah, this can be fun. Also, I hate it though when like the next day your eyes are like bad because of the chlorine or the back of your mouth is weird. Pools can be gross sometimes, bro. But again, you're going out, you're doing shit. I'd rather do it on a nice summer day than play video games. Obviously, even in the evenings, I'd rather be in a backyard pool rather than chill. I'd rather be in sports. Yeah, I feel like that's a good place for the pool. I think I'd rather be at the bar. All right, so this is just like games like bowling, mini golf, random ass games. Yeah, low key. Just play golf, bro. Just go to the driving range. Mini golf's for fucking pussies. It's not even skill based. Like you don't even have to be good at putting. It's genuinely down to the courses. Although the courses can be cool, and sometimes that does make it fun, especially when it's a competitive thing with your friends. Bowling, not so much. I mean, it really depends if you're with friends, as always, how competitive you are. The mini golf course is going to be really, if it's cool, it can be fun. If it's not cool, it's really not something I do much. Rather be at the gym. Not, I mean, again, like, if my friends are going out and bowling and mini golfing, I'd rather do it than stay on my own and doom scroll or sleep or play board games or read books. But again, these are more viable. Definitely would rather play video games on my own than go bowl on my own. Well, it would be nice to get out. And maybe I can socialize with people there. Again, fun with friends, fun drinking. On its own, bowling I would say is C tier. Mini golf is B tier. But there's not enough stuff in C tier, so I'm gonna put it here. That's a hot take, I know. Alright, this one is carnival or festival. Really? I don't go to festivals. Don't go to carnivals. I guess you could include the fair. Kind of like worst theme parks, worst versions of concerts. I thought I put concert here. Wow, concert. Thought I had concert. Well, anyway, never really go to the concert anyway, so I couldn't even say. All I know is as soon as someone has a concert on their story, I click off immediately because do you know how little I care? I care. The amount of care I have is so small, it's smaller than my own penis, which is like a good 4 or 5 inches. So small relative to the Eiffel Tower, large relative to, I don't know, my care for how much you went to a concert. I really don't care, bro. Even if it's fucking ASAP Rocky, even if it's Alice in Chains. Well, I guess you can't even go to an Alice in Chains. I would be curious. I would be curious how you got to an Alice in Chains concert when the guy died. But yeah. And fairs, food's disgusting, like corn dogs, sloppy joes. Festival, I feel like a festival could be fun. I really just don't know what to say about this, bro. Because like I've genuinely not been enough. We'll include concerts, festivals, any sort of public event you need to get tickets to, or whatever. That's not really a theme park. I don't know, bro. Doesn't sound all that fun to me. Put it below the movies, above shopping. The arcade. Isn't this just video games? Except you're in an even darker room that smells even more. Hanging out with Discord mods who care way too much about fucking Pac Man or Pokemon. Yeah, bro, I'd rather be doing nothing, bro. So, yeah, this is the list. Tell me what you guys think. Look, you lost a bit of steam at the end. I'm fucking 45 minutes in. I guess this is some good background noise. But yeah, still don't know what a girlfriend definition is, or a girlfriend is. Um, what's a gain muscle? But yeah, pretty tough. Pretty tough, I would say.